So, what are we going to be doing now? I have in my notes a session called How to Unlock Institutional and Governmental Innovation by Miss Sana. Now, I haven't had the pleasure, ladies, I need one conversation. Ladies, I need one conversation because obviously Sana has some beautiful knowledge to tell us, yeah? And she can't do it if we're talking. So let's just give her a round of applause and honour her as she shares her truth with us. Sana, welcome.
Thank you so much for that very warm welcome. And to be honest, it makes me very nervous to be on stage after dancing. How can I top that? But I'll try to entertain you. So initially when I was invited to speak, I thought about institutional innovation, because this is what I do. I work with governments and institutions on areas like entrepreneurship, innovation, and intrapreneurship. But what I'll try to do here is I'll try to pivot a little bit and make it something that is very relevant to all of you. I think with all of you, you're looking at personal development, you're looking at maybe, am I okay? So I think right now, innovation is just so relevant. Whether it is you developing your personal brand, whether it is your startup or your running entity, or whether you are engaged in government or in a corporation. Everything centers on innovation. In 2009, I set up a platform, knowledge platform called Tamakkan. And Tamakkan is focused on innovation and entrepreneurship. And the reason they work together is because a lot of entrepreneurs are innovators by design. So I tell the government a lot. I talk to the government a lot about the SME ecosystem. We need SMEs, we need startups, we need companies to come in and create new ideas and develop new solutions. And that actually is where innovation starts. Big entities, big institutions, they're not risk takers. But small companies, SMEs, are those entities that can drive change and new learnings and new insights and really ride this amazing wave that we're all going through globally. So I think many of you see that right now, living on planet Earth right now, we are going through incredible change. Whether you are talking about the way we live, the way we work, the way we eat, the way we learn, the way we do everything. We are going through a massive transformation. And it is touching every aspect of our lives. And the ones, the mavericks, I love the word mavericks, the risk takers, those who are ready to take a step forward, are those who see what everybody sees and looks at it differently. And so what I do with institutions is I talk to them about the need to innovate. If you do not innovate, you can die. You can become irrelevant very quickly. So whether you are a startup, whether you are working in an institution, the single most important thing for innovation to occur is championing innovation right at the top. And this is what I tell a lot of entities. There is no use having innovation at a grassroots level or the middle management or the different tiers. It has to be championed right from the top. The CEO of the organization, the president, the chairman, whatever it is, they have to champion it. They have to say innovation is part of what we do and we are committed to it. And this also goes for you guys in your own businesses as well. If you take innovation seriously, it has to be a big banner that you hold. So everybody who falls under that banner is inspired by what you say and what you do. We talked about people. Innovation does not happen without people. We know it's technology, but who creates technology? It's people. So it always starts with people. And here, a lot of entities, a lot of organizations, they're so focused on hard skills, teaching people how to do Excel or this or that. Guys, we need to focus on soft skills as well. Collaboration, sharing, and opening up to people. And yesterday, I gave a talk at a government event in Abu Dhabi. And we were talking about innovation. And then a couple of the people said, it's very difficult to institute innovation in our organizations because we have managers who do not accept it. And the manager takes all the credit. And it's very difficult to, and everybody opened up with all the problems that are, confounding them in these organizations. And then I told them the one most important thing to instituting innovation in any entity is you have to be open. You have to be giving. You have to have gratitude. You have to share. So there's no use in you doing something without making your team look good, without making your manager look good. Innovation is about unlocking energies that bring people together and creating new insights and new possibilities. Make the space. You guys in Dubai, I have to say, have so many innovation spaces. And it's nice to have the space, but you also have to have the programming. So guys, the most important thing is, yes, create the space. Why is creating a space so important? Because it tells people in your organization that you are serious about innovation. There is no way people can come together and collaborate if they're sitting in cubicles and they're just, in spaces that are lock them in. Because this locks them in physically, it locks them in spiritually, it locks them in any which way. So here you have to open the spaces. I used to live in Seattle, Washington for a while, and I used to go to a lot of these spaces where it was just open, everything is just open, collaboration, and all of that. And then I had a big space in 2454. I don't know if anybody here knows 2454 in Abu Dhabi, but I had a big space, 320 square meters, and it was just open. Everything was modular. One day we would have strategy sessions, we'd write on the walls and the floor. The next day we would have salsa, dancing. The third we would have the Green Sheikh come and speak to us. So it was a space where people felt everything was possible. And so here, please commit to the spaces within your organizations. Create places where people can converge. Another very interesting thing about space. In most institutions, you have IT on their own, the marketing working on their own, the customer service on their own. Guys, you cannot have innovation unless people actually talk to each other. So one of the tricks we used to do is we establish watering holes. Do you know what a watering hole is? Anybody know what a watering hole is? Exactly. So now we're talking about a human watering hole where we get people to come in at places where they have to meet. And so whether it's a coffee place, it's tea or whatever, we get people to come in and bump into each other. So IT meets the manager, they meet the customer service guy, and they're seating to enable them and to encourage them to be able to collaborate. When I do a lot of the team building, I actually break the groups down. So one table has a CEO, it has a marketing person, it has a finance. Marketing and finance never work together. I always had this problem before. So I make sure, I try to break all these barriers and bring these people together. That's the only time you have empathy and you have interesting ideas. And I can't tell you how many times there were interesting instances where the marketing person speaks to someone in finance, for instance, and the person in finance says, yeah, this is what we did here. And then suddenly it's like a light bulb moment. Sometimes you get insights from people that you least expect. And so it's very important here, create safe spaces. And when you create a place like this, you know what it tells your staff or the people that you work with? It tells them they are in a safe zone, that innovation is valued, and that this is a place to collaborate. Make the time. Among the things that we used to do was we used to actually have an hour or half an hour. You want to have your lunch? Have your lunch. You know, have someone come and talk to you at lunchtime or take a course or whatever. So make time. Because one of the things I've noticed in some of the institutions here is they have amazing speakers come, and then I say, why did you not attend the session? And the person says, I couldn't because my manager said I couldn't leave, you know, which is such a shame. So here, if you're going to commit to innovation, make the place and also make the time. I know with companies like Google, Microsoft, and others, sometimes they have a day, one day where it is completely freewheeling. You can just sit and vegetate and think and be inspired. So this is the most important thing, is to also integrate these little opportunities. Innovation champions. If you're the CEO and you're holding the innovation banner and you're telling people, we have to innovate and you know, we need to do things, that's not going to trickle down unless you actually have champions at different levels. What does being a champion mean? Pick people. Pick people who believe in innovation. And innovation isn't this weird thing that is, you know, floating around. It can be integrated in little things, in little questions that you can ask your staff. The interesting thing is, I go into a lot of companies and they say, oh, we're about innovation. What? What are you going to do? I mean, it's like this nebulous cloud that is floating and nobody seems to pin it down. So here, guys, innovation can be integrated into the smallest of actions. Open your front line. Sometimes in big organizations or small ones, it's people that you least expect who will give you the insight into something that is wow. And here, you know, what makes me sad is sometimes they bring in people in the company, they bring the middle managers. Guys, don't just bring your middle managers. Bring the guys who are answering the phones. Bring the guys who are opening the doors. Bring the drivers. Bring people who are actually much more in contact with the people that you serve. So really expand your organization. And then again, open innovation. What do I mean by open innovation? I mean, right now, and for me, one of the things that I do in entities is I tell them, 5 minutes, thank you. We have an opportunity to collaborate. So here, leverage other assets. If you are DIWA, work with you know, the ministry of this or the other department, the tourism or whatever, but collaborate. And collaboration really unlocks a lot of amazing possibilities. Inspire. This is, I think, my last screen. And what do I mean by inspire? Share stories. It's just amazing how innovation is so infectious. Creativity is so infectious. So you have a story, get somebody to talk about it, videotape them. I'm a marketing company. We used to charge clients a lot of money to bring the guys with the cameras and all of that. Forget it, doesn't work anymore. Take your mobile phone, shoot it, and immediately share it on social. Everything has become very easy and very, very accessible. Thank you, everyone, for giving me the time.
There's a song that says, he's a smooth operator, he's a smooth operator. Miss Sana was smooth. Did you not think so? You did a great job, Sana. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear.
So I will accept one question, if you have any, just one for young Sana. I love the young. Everybody's young. Oh, ageless. Okay. So I'll just give you a second or two just to answer that question, Sana, if that's all right. Thank you.
I wanted, first of all, to thank you for this really interesting presentation. The topic is really interesting. My question is it possible to know more about Ibtikar? I think you've,
Ibtikar, I think, is an organization in Abu Dhabi. There are so many other entities like Ibtikar. Right now, there was a presentation, the presenter earlier the ecosystem is full of a lot of these entities, you know, and many of them are looking for great ideas and people who are really committed to driving their ideas forward. So I think there was one called Ibtikari, but there are a few others, and I think if you Google them, you'll find so many things that you can engage with. It's a good time to be an innovator and to be creative.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Round of applause for Sana.